Hello everyone. Today we are going to start new chapter agriculture chapter 4 part 1. In this part we are going to see the problems with Indian agriculture. Then we will talk about the technological and institutional reforms in Indian agriculture. The steps taken by government to improve agriculture in India after independence. Mainly after independence. One more topic, impact of globalization on Indian agriculture. This topic is not in your syllabus. Actually I made it earlier, but we will understand this topic also. Impact of it means all the modern techniques we are applying in agriculture, improvement is taking place, production has increased. That is the impact of globalization. To compete in international market, we have brought so many improvement in our agriculture that we will see through technological and institutional reforms that we will write. All these reforms have taken place in agriculture to bring about improvement in Indian agriculture to compete with the global market, because the most important problem with Indian agriculture is its cost of production, the method we apply, the outdated method what we apply. Because of that, the cost of production of crops in our country is very high in comparison to other countries. There are few crops which is costly in our country. It is grown in our country, but it is costly than the crops which are cultivated in another country. Suppose we bring that crops from another country, same crop, so it would be cheaper for us. Instead of uh, purchasing from our own market, if we bring it from global market, means from other countries, so it would be cheaper for us. So why is it? Because cost of production in that countries are very low. So what are the methods applied, that also we have to understand. You have read in class 8 also. uh, you have compared the Indian agriculture with US farming of USA. So you have seen. So these are the impact of that we will see, or we will keep in mind for competitive point of view. So first we'll see problem with Indian agriculture. The first major problems with India's agriculture is instability. It is said that Indian agriculture is a gamble of monsoon. All you know, you have read in previous class. Okay, monsoon is not, its timing is not fixed, duration is not fixed. Sometimes it arrives earlier, sometimes come very late. Even amount of precipitation is not equal every year. It varies too much. Sometime a place receive sufficient rainfall, sometime it receive more than the need, which cause flood, and the same place experience the drought condition due to low rainfall. So most of the farmers are dependent on arrival of monsoon, means how the monsoon comes. Second, because of the law of inheritance, the piece of land, the size of land, agricultural land is becoming smaller and smaller, which create several problems in the movement of labors from one to another, seeds, manures, cattle from one piece of land to another. Irrigation also become difficult in such a small piece of land. A lot of fertile agricultural land get wasted in providing boundaries. When land get bifurcated, boundaries are created in which fertile land get wasted. So under such circumstances, the farmer cannot concentrate on improvement, or obviously it affects the productivity. of Indian farming. Next problem with Indian agriculture is its cropping pattern. As you saw in the first part, video of first part, the two types of crops are produced: food crops and cash crops, non-food crops. As Indian agriculture is of subsistence type, means people do cultivation mainly for survival purpose. Result, stress is given for cultivation of food crops. People don't grow cash crop much more, so earning is very less. Nearly 3/4 of the total agricultural land, means 3/4 part of the total agricultural land is occupied by food crops, means of subsistence type only for survival purpose. So it is also drawback of Indian agriculture, means Indian farmers mainly work for survival purpose. Next is lack of mechanizations. Most of the works are done by old techniques or methods which affect the productivity. Another problems with Indian agriculture is inadequate storage facilities. Farmers do not have access to the storage facilities, especially in rural areas. These storage facilities are not provided in rural areas where farmers keep their grain. So due to lack of this storage facilities, a large part of crops get wasted or farmers lose them. Excessive pressure on land, another problem from which Indian agriculture suffer, that is the pressure on land. As compared to the availability of land is too high, it affect the employment, means land is less, a number of people is high, production is low. So this is the another problem. A large part of the season the farmers remain jobless or production technique, as we saw, the most of the work done by manual labor, by using animal, or these are responsible for high cost of production. So these are the problems associated with Indian agriculture. Now we will see institutional and technological reforms in Indian agriculture. Agriculture, which provides livelihood for more than 60% of its total population, uh, needs some serious institutional reforms. Thus, collectivization, consolidation of land holdings, cooperation and abolition of zamindari system were given priority to bring about institutional reforms in our country after independence. Means these reforms took place after independence, especially in our first 5-year plan. See the institutional reforms, land reforms, collectivization and consolidation of land holdings, cooperation and abolition of zamindari system. All you know, the landlords, they are having excess of land but they do not work. Most of the farmers are landless. Green revolution and white revolution were introduced. All you know, green revolution is related to increase in production of crops, and white revolution is related to increase in milk production, milk and milk products. Although these have not affected all parts of India, only some part got affected by these revolution, or these states were already developed state. They got benefited by these revolutions. Besides that, provision of crop insurance against drought, flood, cyclone, there are natural calamity also which create problems or obstacle in the Indian farming system. So to overcome this, crop insurance facilities, establishment of Grameen banks, cooperative societies, banks which provide loans, all these have been taken place to improve the agriculture in India. These are the institutional. Listen, one more important topic. Usually question come from this section, Bhudan or Gramdan movement, or it is also called bloodless revolution. What is bloodless revolution? Mahatma Gandhi's disciple Vinoba Bhave launched the Bhudan or Gramdan movement. He introduced his ideas widely all over India. Some zamindars, owners of many villages, offered to distribute some villages among the landless, willingly, not forcefully. Willingly they were convinced to distribute their extra land among the landless, or it was known as Gramdan, or some zamindars distributed their part of land in a village that called Bhudan. However, many landowners choose to provide some part of their land to poor farmers due to the fear of Land Sealing Act. To protect their land from this, the government passed an act, Land Sealing Act. According to that, surplus land were taken away and distributed among landless. So the zamindars themselves distributed land among the poor people. This Bhudan or Gramdan movement, which brought changes in Indian society, initiated by Vinoba Bhave, is also called as bloodless revolution. So as we saw, besides that, some other initiative taken by governments are schemes introduced by government such as Kisan Credit Card, Personal Accident Insurance Scheme. These special weather bulletins and agricultural programs are broadcasted for farmers on radio and television to improve their agriculture. The government also announces minimum support price. The government provides also HYV seeds, fertilizers. Time to time provides technical assistance and training for farmers to bring about improvement in the method of cultivation. These are technical reforms, soil testing facilities, cold storage facilities. As we saw in the problem, there is lack of storage facilities. So these are also being established place to place by government. Transportation facilities are also being provided by government for the farmers to bring about improvement in Indian agriculture. Now, contribution of agriculture to the national economy, employment and output, that we have already seen. Agriculture, contribution of agriculture to national economy. More than 55% of the total workforce are directly or indirectly engaged in agriculture. Number one. When we see the contribution of agriculture in GDP, it was highest. Nowadays it is declining, but direct secondary products means the contribution of agro based product is increasing, industrial product is increasing. So these are the contribution of agriculture to the national economy of India. Chapter is over. You prepare notes on all the chapters, or have any problem must ask to me or write in chat box. Thank you. That's all for today. Thank you.